believed him. Not his teachers, not his friends, not even his own family. And after a while, he didn't believe in himself either. He was the kind of person people stopped expecting things from, not because he was lazy or careless, but because every time he tried, something went wrong. His grades were average. His confidence was low. His voice was quiet. In rooms full of people, he felt invisible. When others talked about dreams and plans, he stayed silent, pretending he didn't care, even though his heart was screaming inside. Growing up, he heard the same sentences again and again. Be realistic. That's not for people like you. You should lower your expectations. At first, he tried to fight back. He studied harder. He stayed up late. He told himself that effort would change everything. But effort doesn't always bring results immediately. And when results didn't come, people started to laugh. Teachers praised other students and ignored him. Friends slowly drifted away. Family members compared him to others. Sometimes joking, sometimes serious, but always painful. Over time, those words stopped sounding like opinions and started sounding like facts. He began to believe that maybe he really wasn't special. Maybe he really wasn't meant for more. So he did what many people do when hope feels dangerous. He stopped dreaming. He chose the safe path, the quiet path, the path where no one expects anything from you, so no one can be disappointed. Days started to look the same. Wake up, work, come home, scroll on his phone, sleep, repeat. Life felt like something that was happening around him, not something he was part of. But deep inside, something refused to die. Late at night, when the world was quiet, he would imagine a different life. A life where he mattered. A life where he proved everyone wrong. Those thoughts scared him more than failure ever did. Because hope meant risk and risk meant pain. So every morning he pushed those thoughts away and told himself, this is enough. Until one ordinary day changed everything. It wasn't a big moment. No dramatic speech. No miracle. Just a simple sentence he overheard at work. Someone said, some people are just born average. They'll never do anything big. He didn't know why, but that sentence hit him harder than all the others. Maybe because it sounded final, like a door closing forever. That night he didn't sleep. He sat alone, staring at the ceiling, replaying his entire life in his mind. All the times he stayed quiet. All the times he quit early. All the times he chose comfort over courage. For the first time, he asked himself an honest question. What if the reason nothing changed and was me? Not his past, not his situation, not other people, just him. That thought hurt, but it also did something else. It gave him control, because if he was the reason, he could also be the solution. He didn't wake up the next day as a new person. He didn't suddenly feel confident or motivated, but he made one small decision.
He decided to show up.
No announcements, no promises, just action. He started waking up earlier, not to change his life overnight, but to build discipline. He began learning in silence, reading, watching, practicing. No one noticed, and that was fine. For the first time, he wasn't doing it for praise. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. There were days he felt stupid again. Days he wanted to quit. Days when progress felt invisible. But this time, quitting felt worse than continuing. Because even if no one else believed in him, he knew he was trying. Slowly, something changed. His focus improved. His skills sharpened. His mindset grew stronger. He stopped waiting for permission to take himself seriously. He stopped explaining his goals to people who didn't listen. People around him still doubted him. Some laughed. Some ignored him. Some warned him that he was wasting time. But he had learned something important. Not everyone who doubts you is trying to hurt you. Some people just can't imagine a life bigger than their own. So he kept going. He failed again. More than once. And this time, failure didn't break him. It taught him. Each mistake became a lesson. Each setback became data. He stopped asking, why me? And started asking, well, what now? One day someone noticed. Then another. Then another. It wasn't overnight success. It was slow, uncomfortable, and quiet growth. But it was real. Opportunities started to appear. Confidence started to build. Not loud confidence, but calm confidence. The kind that doesn't need validation. And the people who once doubted him, they didn't change immediately either. Some apologized. Some stayed silent. Some pretended they believed all along. And some continued to doubt him. But by then it didn't matter. Because the most important belief had already changed. his own, he realized that belief is not something you wait for. It's something you earn, through action, through consistency, through refusing to quit when quitting feels reasonable. One day, standing alone again, he looked at his reflection and barely recognized the person staring back. Not because he became famous or rich, but because he became someone who trusted himself. And that changed everything.
He understood that the real victory wasn't proving others wrong. It was proving himself right. Proving that he was capable of more than fear told him, more than doubt allowed him to see. No one believed him when he started, but now it didn't matter, because he believed in himself, and that belief was stronger than every doubt combined. The sun was rising, but this morning felt different. He stood on the rooftop, the city slowly waking up behind him. For years, mornings had felt heavy, reminders of what he hadn't become. But today, something was quiet inside his head. Not confidence, not motivation, just clarity. He finally understood something he had been avoiding for a long time. Nobody was coming to rescue him. And strangely, that realization didn't break him. It freed him. He went home, sat at his small desk, and wrote down 3 simple questions. What can I control today? What am I wasting time on? What am I afraid to start? The answers were uncomfortable but honest. He wasn't failing because he lacked talent. He was failing because he lacked structure. So he did something boring, something invisible. He fixed his routine. No extreme discipline, no dramatic changes, just quiet consistency. He woke up at the same time, worked without announcing it, stopped waiting for motivation. Days passed. Then weeks. Nothing impressive happened. And that was the hardest part. Working without applause, improving without validation. There were moments he almost quit, not from pain, but from doubt. But instead of stopping, he kept going. Slowly, his mind became calmer. He reacted less, focused more. He began to trust himself. One day, he met someone who once doubted him. The same tone. The same smile, but this time it didn't hurt, because his self-worth was no longer borrowed from others. Months later, a small opportunity appeared. Nothing glamorous. Nothing guaranteed. Old him would have hesitated, waited to feel ready. This time he acted. He made mistakes. He failed again. But failure felt different now. It wasn't personal. It was information. Each setback shaped him. Confidence grew, not from success, but from showing up. One evening, he stood alone again, watching the city lights. Same place. Different person. He realized something important. Belief doesn't come before action. It comes after. The world didn't suddenly change. But he did. And that changed everything.